Hello, very good morning to you. It is Talk TV and it's Petri here with you until 4 o'clock. Eb Zakintade is here to go inside the newspapers. So we'll be doing that in about 15 minutes. But in the meantime, it's time for me to have a chat with my brother from another mother, Burton Kelso, Chief Tech Expert at Integral in Kansas City. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing? It's great to see your face.
It's good seeing you too. See, brother from another mother.
Brother and I can be your sister from another mister.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's
I love it.
That's exactly right. So this morning, Burton, we're talking about cybersecurity because it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and boy, do we need to be aware.
It is. I thought it was next month in the UK. Isn't it October?
Oh, I don't know.
It's October here.
We're nearly October.
I know. We're close enough.
And we're close enough. It's the 29th of September. I mean, come on.
I had to throw that out there.
Yeah, cheers. So let me ask you about cybersecurity. Does it really exist? Because we're finding out that everything is up for grabs from these scammers or thieves. They seem to be a lot cleverer than we are.
That's a good question, and no one's asked me that before, but I think the answer is no. There really isn't any cybersecurity out there. I mean, for large corporations, there is, because you have, obviously, cybersecurity experts that are working for large corporations. But for us individual people, unfortunately, we're being taken advantage from big tech because the side hustle is selling our information.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Even if we could be safe, every time we go onto a website, every time that we buy something online, every time, all of these details that we're giving are fodder. They're for sale. So how, we can't protect ourselves because we've become a commodity.
That's exactly right. And it's hard to have any privacy when the companies that we trust are giving away our information. So the only way to be safe, unfortunately, is to stay offline, which most people aren't going to do anyway.
Well, how am I going to do my shopping?
Go to the store.
No, that's so last year. That's so old-fashioned. But look, how do we then even attempt to protect ourselves since the genie is out of the bottle? How do we do it?
Well, the good thing is with most cyber attacks, they require user interaction. So you can get a spam email, but as long as you don't click on the link, then you're perfectly safe. And that's this nonsense about, well, they can infiltrate your devices and get into your computers and stuff. Most tech devices, if they're current, are safe from a majority of cyber threats out there. So like ransomware and malware and all that stuff is preventable as long as you're careful not to click on stuff or to fall for text messaging schemes or voice schemes where you have these threat actors acting like they're a trusted authority and you're voluntarily giving out your information. I mean, that's one of the best ways to stay safe.
I mean, I feel sorry for anybody legitimate phoning me, trying to get any information out of me. I just don't give it. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting your call. I'm not telling you anything.
You're like me. I look at the caller ID and I let it go to voicemail. But there are some curious Georges out there, and every phone call that comes in, they're like, I got to see who it is.
Yeah.
And that gets people into trouble.
Yeah, my son was with me the other day, and he said, oh God, I've just had this text. And I said, what, or call or something. I can't remember whether text or call. He's saying it's from the Inland Revenue saying that there's an investigation on me. And I went, by the way, he's 25. And I thought they'd be a bit more savvy. I went, look, stop and think about this for a second. You're PAYE. Why would the Inland Revenue be investigating you? I mean, for what purpose? And he went, oh yeah, I suppose you're right. But it's that panic, isn't it? It's that initial, the Inland Revenue, scary.
Right, and that's called social engineering. The whole purpose is that cyber criminals, and we're talking about large criminal organizations that sit and think about how to trick people. And most people assume that it's only the elderly that are falling for these scams, and it's everybody. And it's because they're socially engineered, designed to make you react rather than to think about the situation that's going on with the phone call, with the email, or even with the text message.
Yeah, there's that scam, isn't there, where the scammers pretend to be your child, having lost their phone, and that's quite a smart scam, it seems. Although it's out there now, but I wonder how many people were caught by that, going, "It's your favourite son or it's your favourite child here, and I've lost my phone, and I need you to deposit some money for me."
Oh my goodness, that's a weak. I shouldn't say weak. That's a lesser scheme that we see in the States. They usually call that the grandparent scam, where the kid is overseas saying, "Hey, I'm stuck. I'm in prison. I need some money, Western Union, so I can get out of jail." And it's an effective scheme because sometimes criminals will know a little bit of information about the caller. They know the grandchild's name or the kid's name, and they're able to trick people a little bit better because they have some intel on the individual they're calling.
I mean, my son and I have got a password system. So, if he doesn't use a particular... I have a nickname for him, which obviously I'm not going to say what it is. It's very embarrassing. And so I would demand that before doing anything else. And maybe parents and grandparents should think about that.
I think families should think about that when they travel. When they go on vacation or on holiday, then they need to create a password. So if something happens, then they were able to give that password, because scammers, they're looking at social media. They're looking to see where you're going. And it's real easy to make that connection to see who's family and make that call to say something bad's happened and that they need money.
Wow. So that is a good plan to make sure that you've got a password that only you know, so that you can verify, if you like, that is a genuine request. What about these ransomware? You mentioned that briefly a moment ago, and criminals will say, "Look, we're going to lock down your files, lock down your phone, and then we're going to, unless you pay us money." I mean, I've had one of those on my phone. I just deleted it. Nothing happened, but it's scary.
It is, especially to individuals who have important information on their phones, or even businesses, which are largely targeted, because a lot of businesses don't make backups of their stuff. You would think in the year 2022, everyone would have a backup of their phone or their computer, but most people don't. So when they get hit with ransomware and the threat of, "We've got your files locked up and you need to pay us some money to get them back," people go into a panic because they're like, "Oh no, I haven't backed up my stuff." Okay. And that threat gets a lot of people. And the simplest thing to do is to just back your stuff up. So if the criminals call, you can just say, "Well, go take a hike. I've got my stuff backed up." You can have those. I'll pull them from my online backup. But people don't back up their stuff. And so they're caught in a hard place. And in most instances, they pay the ransom, which I will say you should never pay the ransom. I don't care how dire you need your files. Never pay the ransom, because it makes you a larger target, and they're going to come back for more money.
Yeah, exactly that. But are they always telling the truth, though, that they've ransomed your stuff? Or is it, I think my one was a lie. I think it was just a scary text.
Well, yes, because normally if you get hit with ransomware, one or two things will happen. One, you'll get a message on your device saying, "Hey, we're infected your device with ransomware and you need to pay us some money." Number two, your device is locked up and you can't do anything to your device. Now, and you can't access your files either. So if you go to open up a Word or Excel or any other type of document, it's just going to come up with a bunch of gibberish. So there's proof they got your stuff locked up.
Well, I mean, these horrible scumbag people. Terrifying. What do you do, Burton, to protect yourself? I'm going to do what you do. Whatever it is you do, I'm going to do it.
Don't answer the phone. Let it go to voicemail.
Yeah, I do. Honestly, no ID, no answer. That's. And
don't click on links in email. If you get an email, don't be curious about it. Call the person. Say, "This looks weird. Did you send me this?" Yeah. Same thing with the text message. I mean, if it's got a link saying "click here" or "you want some money," yeah, I'm calling the source. I'm not clicking on anything. But again, it's that fear factor that's built into a lot of these exchanges, and people just get curious and click on stuff.
Well, normally what I do is if I'm feeling like I can be bothered, if I get a text that is demanding money or whatever, I just text back and say, your number has been reported and sent to the police.
That works. That'll stop them. But it's a numbers game. It's just a robot sending out these messages.
I know, but I like to think there's some nervous ninny on the other end of the phone who's suddenly going, oh no, she's reported me. But probably not. Burton, lovely to see you as ever. Your big smiley face is such a joy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And I will speak to you very soon. Burton Kelso, Chief Tech Expert at the Integral in Kansas City.